Hello, vinyl community. Crazy Jimmy here with a first for me. I'm going to be doing a 2025 vinyl tag. I've actually never done a vinyl tag before. So I've been seeing these go around. I saw my buddy Chris, Vinyl Piper, do one as well. So kind of inspired me to do one of my own. So I got the 20 questions all listed out of all the information and all the records to go. I didn't spend a ton of time picking out stuff, so I probably would have had better selections if I spent a week or two thinking about it, but and going through my collection. But I think I got it narrowed down pretty well. So why don't we get started? The first one was best purchase of 2024, and I'm definitely going to say it was this Jay Mitchell album I found called Your Mama, Your Daddy Again, Who's That in My Bed. And the reason this was the best 2024 purchase is it was a blind buy, first of all. Never heard of them. I saw it in the shrink. You all know I love my sleeves, and I love really nice, clean sleeves. And there's Jay right there. Right there. And I could tell it was like an original press from the Bahamas. So something you don't see often. And of course, it's from one of my favorite decades, the 70s. So there's the label right there. I think I've showed this album before, but this is an album I keep coming back to. It has a lot of replay value for me, and that's how I kind of determine what's a great album is one that you want to come back to and one that you want to hear. And this is it. So for 2024, I've had quite a few great finds and purchases, but this Jay Mitchell is definitely the best and the most surprising. And it's not even, one of the more expensive ones. I don't recall. I think I paid $19.99 for it. So, the price was great. And was shocked by the music. And I love this cover too. It looks like it's got a couple voodoo dolls there all dressed up. Really neat cover. It sounds like a mix of calypso with a little bit of soul, a little bit of funk, and a little bit of psych all mixed together in this blender. And it's just a little bit of reggae too, of course. But it's happy music, and it's really good groove music. If you haven't heard Jay Mitchell, his vocals are amazing. And anytime any artist went to the Bahamas, they always wanted to perform and sing with Jay. So I believe Otis Redding was someone who was like a huge Jay Mitchell fan and wanted to record with him. So that is my best purchase of 2024. All right, best LP of 1974. Well, there's a lot of great 1974 albums, really a lot that could have made this, but I'm going to go with Big Star, Radio City. And this this particular one is sealed, so of course I'm not going to open it. I have one that's open, but this is definitely my favorite from 74. It was close, but there's just so much on this between September Girls, which was the hit that never happened. It should have been a hit from that time period. But you also have, just solid songs on this. You got Maud Lang, you got Back of a Car, which is great. A couple great ballads on here. I'm in Love with a Girl to End is just phenomenal. You Get What You Deserve, which was directed at Chris Bell. What's Going On? AHN. So... there really isn't. The only song on here that I probably don't care for a whole lot is Oh My Soul. And that is a co-write with Chris Bell. That's probably the only one I probably don't care for a whole lot, but the rest of them are all stunners. All right. The LP that defines a genre. Well, there's so many. I could have gone with R. Stevie Moore for lo-fi, bedroom rock. I could have gone with, Pink Floyd for Psych, or not the 13 Floor Elevators really for Psych, because they were the first, right? But I went with something different because probably everyone's going to be going with those. I went with the shoegaze genre, and of course, not Loveless, but isn't anything which came before Loveless, is the one that defines the shoegaze genre. This is 1988, and this is a U.S. press. I have the UK on Creation as well. This is on Creation too, but this is also shoegaze. And you know what? This is every bit as good as Loveless. Every bit as good. As a matter of fact, I think I like this a little better than Loveless. I know I'm going to get some nasty comments on that, but you know, this is just a defining album. It was a year before Loveless, so you can't call Loveless the defining album for the genre, that's for sure. So I'm calling this one their first major full length that really had the sound. They had a couple EPs going, but this was really the one where it went full shoegaze. My Bloody Valentine Isn't Anything, 1988. All right, best band from my home country, which is USA. This one was really easy for me. Guided by Voices. You know, I own everything by them pretty much, except for some of the newer stuff, you know, newer ones that Pollard's been releasing. But these are a couple of my favorites. There's so many great albums by them, but Alien Lanes and B1000 are the two that kind of, you know, got me rolling with them. These are original pressings, which you got to have for GBB, and this is the white pressing here. But B1000 Alien Lanes is like their sweet spot. 1994, 1995, and you know, what can I say? If you like the Beatles, the Who, the Kinks, if you're a massive fan of those three bands, and then you throw in a little bit of post-punk like Wire. Pollard was a huge Psyche fan of the 60s. He loved obscure, crazy Psyche. He loved post-punk. He loved prog. One of his favorite bands was like early Genesis. All that stuff is thrown into these albums. Now, these two are primarily, especially in Alien Lanes, is like the most Beatlesque of their discography, I would say. This one here is a little more eclectic. This has like I think Robert called them the 4 Ps: post-punk, psych, pop. I'm missing one. Prog. So all 4 Ps are on this one, and that's why B1000 is considered their grail, their best. All right, next up, artist I miss dearly. I mean, there's so many. I can go with you know, Mark Bolan from T-Rex, Bowie. I mean, there's just many. I'm going with Chris Bell, though. I mean, he passed away so young. He had so much to contribute. He contributed this album, which was not released until way after his death. He died at the age of 27, so it was a car crash. I think he smashed into a tree or something. I don't remember the full story. I know he hit a tree, and I think he fell asleep, or maybe there was a leak in the car, and carbon monoxide got in the car or something, or exhaust fumes, and it might have knocked him out, and he hit a tree or a pole or something and passed away. And he was only 27. So much more to offer. Chris Bell from Big Star. You know, this album here, his solo album, which Omnivore released way after the fact, called I Am the Cosmos, is every bit as good as any Big Star album. I really need you to trust me on that. If you haven't heard this, check it out. It's called I Am the Cosmos, Chris Bell. This is every bit as good as #1 record in Radio City. So... And you'll listen to it and go, yeah, that's the Big Star sound right there. So he meant so much to the Big Star sound. Not even funny, but he did release one single with I Am the Cosmos on it, and then I think Me and Your Sister, or You and Your Sister, on the flip side. So that one was released on Car Records in 1977. I think just before, maybe right after he passed, it got released, but that was the only early official release from him. And of course, he did some side work with like with his buddy Tommy Hohen, and I think Alex Chilton was on that album too. So, but Chris Bell for me is it. I miss him dearly. I wish he's back. Best live LP in my collection. Well, this was tough because I have some great live albums, but let me pull it. So the best live album I have, and it's mainly due to the energy and the sound quality, is this Cars album. It's a bootleg live at the El Mocambo. And there it is. And let me tell you, this is during their like heyday, 1979. It's got all the hits on it. Good Times Roll, Bye Bye My Love. It's got Nice Spots, which they didn't play that often. Since I Told You, They Won't See You, Don't Just Stop, Just What I Needed, I Need You So. It also has Moving in stereo, which you have to have. My Best Friend's Girl. I mean, the track list is amazing. The energy on this is absolutely amazing. And the sound quality, it's an FM recording, so you know it's going to be great. This is numero uno in my collection, but I do have an honorable mention that's guided by Voices Live at Drayton, even though they're from Dayton. Daytron. I wonder if they meant to say Dayton there. Who knows? But live in Daytron. This is the honorable mention because it has like the track list on this is amazing. It spans from, you know, their 80s output through their 90s output through their early 2000s output. So that's why this is on 3 colored vinyl LPs. This track listing and the sound quality and the performances are just great. Pollard tends to get drunk during his live shows, and he actually went through about half of this set not drunk. So he was getting drunk. So the end of the set is crazy, but the beginning, you know, the first half of it is just outrageously good. So if you've never heard Guided by Voices Live, you got to check out some of their live stuff and see him in concert before Pollard drinks himself to death and his liver shrivels up. All right. Partner Just Dumped You. What LP are you putting on? Well, okay. This one was really tough. I was born in the 60s, so I've been married a long time, been with the same woman for a long time. So, but the last breakup I had, I mean, it would have been like this guy's time period right here. So, this is the one I'm going to go with. Randy Van Warmer, Just When I Needed You Most. And of course, the song itself is just, it says it all. But some of the titles on here: Losing Out on Love, Just When I Need You Most, Gotta Get Out of Here, Convincing Lies, Deeper and Deeper, Call Me, Forever Loving You, I Could Sing, and The One Who Loves You. I mean, this is a breakup album if there ever was one. I could have pulled Liz Phair, Exile in Guyville. That's a great one as well, for honorable mentions. Another honorable mention for me would be Disintegration by Cure, of course. I mean, what? I mean, come on. So you got a U.S. and a U.K. That's an honorable mention. And then I'm more of an angry breakup guy. Like to listen to angry music for breakups. So this Brand New would have been a great go-to for me. You know, when this came out, I was married, so no breakups. But if I did break up, this one would be on my LP right here, my turntable. So Devil and God by Brand New. Some nice angry emo music there. All right, where are we? Best sounding drums on an album. This one was really hard. I could have gone with a million things like Led Zeppelin 4, Led Zeppelin 2, of course. Any Who album, right? But this is the one I went with. Jeff Pacaro. His drumming on this Scaggs album is just unreal. In its best sound, it's not best drummer. I should rephrase it. But the sound of his drums on this, the way he mic'd the drums, is just unreal. And I think there's actually something on YouTube you can watch on how Jeff Pacaro like sets up his drums and gets the drum sound that he wants. And this one here, Silk Degrees by Scaggs, which by the way is a 5-star album. So just a great album. It's more than just the singles you see here. This whole album is great, and Jeff Picaro's drumming, of course, is top notch. So I would go with that bad boy right there. Okay. Favorite artist who is a member of 2 or more bands, and God, there's a million of them. I could have gone with Alex Chilton. I could have gone with Sean O'Hagan from High Llamas. I could have gone with Davy Scott from the Pearl Fishers and BMX Bandits. But no, I went with Robert Pollard because he is my favorite artist who's been in more than one band. He's been in several because he has like a million different side projects going on. So, Guided by Voices, Robert Pollard, of course, he's the main dude. And then, of course, he started a band with a couple guys, John Moen from the Decemberists, and they did Boston Spaceships, which I believe they released like 4 albums, greatest hits, and some EPs and singles. So Pollard was there. And then another one, Lexo and the Leapers with Pollard, which is just a phenomenal EP. Really good EP. Lo-fi magic right here. Lexo and the Leapers. I could show you like 100, he's been in so many different bands and he's done so many different side projects. I can go on and on, but Robert Pollard is the man right there. Favorite artist who is a member of 2 or more bands. Beatles or Stones? I love them both, but I'm going Beatles. Love them both. Going Beatles. I got to show some Beatles, of course, since I'm going with the Beatles. So we'll show you one of my favorite Beatles albums, the White Album. This is an original mono and an original stereo UK. So there you have it. We'll go with the Beatles. These are pretty clean too. I'm pretty happy to have them nice and complete. So we'll go there. But I love the Stones too. It was so close. You found a bag of weed. What are you going to listen to? Well, this was really easy for me because this is such a great album when you're wasted. And that's the Lilies, SK and the Photon Band. And look at the cover. I mean, come on. So the Lilies, Kurt Heasley is the main guy who did all the writing and singing. He's also got some help here with I think Harv Evans from Pool. Harold Evans, sorry. Kurt Heasley is the guy. Mike Deming. Yeah, really good stuff. Spin Art label, which I've shown before. I love that label, but look at this. I mean, that is like, yeah. This was released in, I want to say, 93, 94, 95, somewhere around there, but here it is. This album, look, if you're a Pink Floyd fan, do yourself a favor. Pop onto YouTube, pull up the Lilies, Lilys, SK and the Photon Band, and have a little listen to this album. Now, the Lilies, after this album, Kurt became like obsessed with the Kinks. So the album directly after this one, I think it was called was it the Three-Way, or I forgot the name of it, but total Kinks ripoff, which is great. I love the Kinks. This is Floyd ripoff right here, but it's done. It's even more chill. It's more chill wave. It's mellow. It's smooth. It's like you're floating on a cloud. I think they recorded this on 4-track and an 8-track. Some of the tracks were 4 tracks, some were 8. So the sound they got off of those tracks is just amazing. But this is just a phenomenal album to listen to when you're floating in the clouds. All right. Next, number 12, LP from the 80s I still listen to often. Well, I listen to a lot of albums from the 80s, but this one here, Wire 154, that's it right there. Just unbelievable, like post-punk with a little bit of oh God, it's hard to explain. Like it's modern, but it's post-punk, but it's not punk. It's post. It's more post than punk. But 154. This is a UK pressing with the 7-inch single. If you haven't heard Wire 154, this is their 3rd album. 1979. This was released in 79 at the tail end. So I think it's an 80. I think this qualifies as an 80. If it doesn't, just let me know. And I guess I'll have to switch it. But I'm pretty sure this is like January 1980. I know it was written in 79, but I think it was just right after the new year. But Wire, 154. If not, I've got a million 1980s albums I could put up here. So, but that's the one there. All right, next up, politics. An artist whose political stance sours you. You know what? It sours me from this guy, but I still have everything he's ever put out because I love his music and I love country rock and I love alt country. And that's Steve Earle right there. So, yeah, he's pretty outspoken. No question about that. But if you're a fan of like Laurel Canyon, country rock, you know, Sweetheart of the Rodeo, Wilco, Whiskey Town, Ryan Adams, not Bryan Adams, you will love Steve Earle. No question about it. So, and this was an RSD, by the way, and this almost made my list for RSD as well because I listened to this one a lot. El Corazon. So, but yeah, his politics I do not always agree with. I think he's a socialist, you know, so I'm not going to tell you what I am, but I mean, I'm not a socialist, that's for sure. So, but Steve Earle would be the guy that I'd put right up there. He needs to keep his mouth shut. Right. Show a favorite record label. Okay, well, I have a lot of favorite record labels, like Creation. Love Creation. I love ABC. I love Buddha. I love there's so many. I love the Brain label. But I went with Elephant Six because that's what I have the most of. Anything released in Elephant Six, I know I'm going to like. Apples in Stereo, Olivia Tremor Control, The Gerbils, Frosted Ambassador, Circulatory System. Look at that hand-poured wax, too. It's pretty cool. But Elephant Six was like a collective, and then they created the label out of Georgia. And it was a group of guys. Neutral Milk Hotel was another one, part of that label. A group of guys that just got together and had like-minded, you know, interest in the same music, which was Psyche, the Beatles, the Kinks, all that psychedelic pop from the 60s. And so, you know, they formed this label and this collective, and they all recorded on each other's albums. And, you know, while some of the albums sounded similar and some of the music sounded similar, they incorporated a lo-fi-ness and, you know, like a fuzziness to the genre. So, yes, it's all psych. You know, Apples in Stereo is psych, but it's also it's pop psych. But it's also very childlike. You know, Frosted Ambassador is an offshoot from Olivia Tremor Control, which is complete Beatles, Beach Boys, you know, from Smile era. But they incorporated ambient sounds from like Eno. So, the Gerbils, you know, another one, pop psych. But there's, you know, they recorded on 4-track for the most part, and, you know, recorded like the Beatles did. But it's not a complete retro ripoff. So there's a lot of good, unique music to be found on the Elephant Six label for sure, if you like psych. Right. And by the way, the label, I think was, they started the label in 1989, but it really took off in the 90s, early 90s. So, all right. 3 great singles. Well, all right. Okay. This might surprise some people, but all right. Guided by Voices, Static Airplane Jive on pink and white wax. Super rare. I think there's only like 50 of these pressed. I think maybe 100. The last 100. So 998 out of 1,000. So from 990 to 1,000 were this pink and white. Well, it's supposed to be white, but this is like a pink-white variation because some colors got mixed in, which is great. But this is like a 6-song EP or 7-song EP. It's amazing. Every song is great. 4-track lo-fi pop genius. You know, it's so fuzzy. It's so Beatlesque. It's so punk. It's post-punk. It's just, I can't express enough how much I love this. 1993's Static Airplane Jive, Guided by Voices. Next up is Drake Tungsten, Sixpence for the Sauces. And if you're wondering who the hell Drake Tungsten is, this is the lead singer and songwriter from Spoon. That's right. So this was the name of his band before Spoon. So this was like, this was in the 90s. I'm not sure the year. I'm going to say 93 maybe, or 94. But this is a great, I think there's like 4 tracks on this. It's all, see, need a mirror. There we go. I can see it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't use his real name. His name is not Drake. And you know what? I forgot his name. The lead singer of Spoon. It's killing me now. But actually, hold on. I think I see a Spoon album right here. Of course. Oh, Britt Daniels. That's it. This is Britt Daniels, basically, before Spoon. Great, great, great single EP. All right. Next up, Big Star, September Girls. And yes, it's a promo, and September Girls is on the A side. September Girls is on the B side. The difference is the version on the single is different than the version on the album. So the Radio City album has a different version than the one on the single. The one on the single is faster, it's sped up, and it's a little more raw. So just an FYI in that. So if you're like, oh, I'm not going to get the single, I don't need it, I have the album. No, you need the single. It's a great album, it's a great song, and it actually sounds better on this single. So honorable mention. I love to do honorable mentions. Space Needle. And you're like, who? Space Needle. Seattle band. This is Panic Delaney on one side, Out of My Face on the other. This is, I think, 1992. Lo-fi, fuzzy as hell, in your face. But you can make, through all the static that they put in there intentionally, you can make out the melodies, and it's so good. But Space Needle, and I love Space Needle's first album, Voyager. So if you haven't heard Space Needle, check it out. This is my my honorable mention. All right. Next up, RSD purchase I listen to the most. Well, that's easy. Pearl Fishers, the Young Picnickers, right there. And this, you know, if you like Pet Sounds and Smile era Beach Boys and a little bit of Beatles thrown in for good measure, you will love the Pearl Fishers. They're from Scotland. And, you know, when you're a band from Scotland in the 90s, you're good. You know, like Teenage Fan Club. You're going to sound like Teenage Fan Club. You're going to sound like Big Star. You're going to sound like the Beach Boys and the Beatles. So, Bacharach. I mean, this album, this is the 3 Bs, this album. Burt Bacharach, the Beach Boys, and the Beatles. Period. So if you haven't heard of the Pearl Fishers, not Pearl Jam, but the Pearl Fishers, check out Young Picnickers, check out Tall Poppies, check out Sky Meadow. Really good, I was going to say shit, really good stuff. All right. If you can be reincarnated as an artist, who would you be? Well, that's easy. You know, for me, it'd be Robert Pollard of Guided by Voices. That's who I'd want to be. I mean, the guy's, he's written over 1,000 songs. I mean, in 90% of them are really good. And I would say 70% of them are classics that a lot of people haven't heard. So, like I said, if you like 60s, if you like the late 60s, Kinks, The Who, The Beatles, and then you like post-punk of the 70s, like Wire, like Swell Maps, and if you like a little bit of prog, early Genesis, right here, Guided by Voices, Robert Pollard. Check them out. All right. Best 3 lines in a song. Well, this was really easy for me because I mean, I'm not a big lyric guy, but the lyrics of the song on this album by Stephen Kellogg and the Sixers called The Bear. The album is called The Bear. This is this album was from early 2000s, I think, on Vanguard. Great alt country album in the vein of like a Ryan Adams or a Wilco. Whiskey Town, that sort of stuff. But the lyrics from the song Satisfied Man, I'm going to read you 3 lines from Satisfied Man off this album. If heaven and family and children are what's left of the race that I ran, then I'll quietly slip to the slumbering peace of the sleep of a satisfied man. Unbelievable. And it rhymes. I should sing it so you can hear what it would sound like on the song, because I don't want to get a copyright blast. But if heaven and family and children are what's left of the race that I ran, then I'll quietly slip into the slumbering peace of the sleep of a satisfied man. Yeah, the sleep of a satisfied man. Right there. Check out that song, Stephen Kellogg and the Sixers. It's on the album The Bear. And by the way, this is a 5-star album. Every song on it is great. You'll be like, where's this album been all my life? All right. An album I never tire of. Easy. Because I can keep coming back to it, and I can listen to it over and over and over and over. And that is Van Buren, 1977, Are You Serious? Yeah, look at him. This was mastered by none other than Bob Ludwig. This is the USA pressing. And of course, the UK pressing is here, which I love the cover on the UK. Cover on the UK is way better than the US. Same song selections, but there's the UK. And then, of course, you got to have one that's sealed. Right there with the hype. And then, of course, you got to have a test pressing of Are You Serious? So, oh my God. 1977's Van Buren. There was a great documentary just done and released on this guy that actually you can get on Tubi. You can watch it on YouTube. It's everywhere for free right now. Geez, what's the name of it? I forgot the name of it, but unbelievable. It's basically a documentary about these 2 Australian guys who found this album, just kind of ran into it, listened to it, and were blown away by it. First of all, if you're a Todd Rundgren fan, Something Anything, that era, the one with the noose, forgot the title of that one, like his early 70s stuff, right there. And then, of course, Big Star, Power Pop. So this is a Power Pop album, but it's a Rundgren and it's Big Star. And just so you know, this guy has Big Star roots. Not only that, he's tried out for Big Star. He didn't get the gig, but he tried out for them after Chris Bell left. And he also played with Tommy Hohen. He was on the pre-album with Tommy Hohen and Alex Chilton. He also did some work with Chilton on something else. I forgot the name of it. But he's a Memphis dude. So, of course, he knows everyone from Big Star and Ardent and all that, Chris Fry. But 1977's Are You Serious? Van Buren, probably a top 50 of all time. And it's certainly in the top 10 all-time power pop albums. I like this album better. And actually, there's a song on here he wrote with the drummer from Big Star. And it's the last song, The Love, it's called The Love That I Love, and it's such a great song. It's actually better than anything on any Big Star album, even better than September Girls, just as good as 13, The Love That I Love, written by Van Buren and, what is it, Stevenson or Stevens? I forgot his name. Should be in the back of this. Jody Stevens, that's it. But Power Pop, man. Side 2 on this is flawless. Side 1 is also great. The last 3 songs on this are just... I can't stop listening to this album, by the way. Anyways, all right. Okay, so I think that's it there. Last one is share your favorite VC channel. Well, I have a lot of favorite channels. I can't just pick one. Honorable mentions, I'll start with that. Parlogram Auctions. Love Parlogram Auctions. His videos are great. He does videos on all things the Beatles and sometimes slips in like Badfinger and the Kinks and stuff like that. but Parallelogram Auctions is a great channel. There's other great channels too, but let me give you my favorite channels here. I'm going to start with Psyche Derek. Gotta love Derek. Psyche Derek's channel has been going on for years and years, and he always turns me on to great psych and some great cheap heat. So we love you, Derek. Vinyl Piper, Chris from Vinyl Piper, just phenomenal. He always shows some serious heat, and him and I have very similar tastes as well. So really, and a really good guy too. Seeking a Thread, Dom. Hey, Paisan, Don. We're both Paisans, but love Seeking a Thread. You know, Dom shows the more obscure side of the record industry, and that I appreciate that, because behind this camera is a ton of obscure stuff I haven't even shown yet, so I got to start showing some of that stuff. I'm really slacking here, but Seeking a Thread with Dom is just awesome, and you know, I think we have a lot in common too. We've both been radio DJs and all that stuff. So, and two Italianos. All right, next up, Permanent Records. Lance, love Lance. You know, Lance, I'm sure I'm not defaming you. Dude, you always look high in your videos. I love it. I'm sure you're not. You're running a business. I know you're not, but it's just funny because it looks like you are. So, but we love you, Lance, from Permanent Records, LA. Make sure you have the LA on there. But he shows a lot of good stuff, a lot of heat. He owns a record store, which also doubles as, I think, a bar. So that's really cool out in LA. Vinyl Richie. I love Vinyl Richie's energy. Vinyl Richie does all his videos standing up. So I love Vinyl Richie. Shows great stuff, and his energy is just through the roof. So, and then of course, one of the you think I'm not that crazy. Crazy Jimmy, yeah. I was crazy in high school. Some of the stuff I did in high school, you would really be blown away by. Yeah, I would have gotten shot if I tried that stuff now. Seriously, I would have gotten shot. Maybe I'll explain what I did back in high school in another video, but the guy that's truly crazy, and I love him for it, is Brian, Cosmic Vinyl. Brian, you are crazy, man, and I love you for it. So, and his videos are so professional, unlike mine, which are completely lo-fi and crappy. He edits his video. He's got a good introduction. He edits his videos really well, and always has a structure. You know, he shows you what he's drinking. He's got this structure, and I don't know. He's funny as hell. But anyways, those are some shout outs. Of course, Mazzy, love Mazzy too. There's so many. I don't know where this guy Coleman went, but he used to love his channel. He used to show all kinds of like Guided by Voices and stuff. He was a musician. I forgot his first name. His last name was Coleman. I never see him anymore. I hope he didn't pass, but his channel is great. James Buttery, I think, has a great channel as well. I love Top 5. I love Vinyl Stockholm. So great stuff there. Vinyl Stockholm, we have a lot in common as well. And I think he's out in like Germany or the Netherlands. Don't kill me if I get it wrong, but another great channel. So I can go on and on. The Nebraska, is it Nebraska? Idaho Introvert. Another good one. Melinda Murphy, I think, is another one I like. So, you know, Vinyl University. Tim, great videos he puts out. He loves to go over like the sound quality and like dead wax and plants and all that, vinyl plants, and you know what has the best, you know, sound quality, especially with originals. So Vinyl University, Tim, love you, man. Anyways, Crazy Jimmy, if you like what you are seeing and hearing, please subscribe, please hit the bell, please comment. Love you all. Take care.